So every week or two, we're gonna put a post on our Facebook page that tells you to either personal message us or email us to tell us what kind of questions you have that you'd like us to answer every week on our YouTube channel. So make sure that you think about that and please interact with us. We've had some really good input already, and I've had 3 really good questions right away. I'm gonna try to answer them in order. The first one I had was how to introduce a puppy to an adult lab. That if you already have another lab at home or another dog, for instance. One of the things that's most important is to understand dog packs, and some of the information I'm going to give in these videos is going to talk a lot about dog packs in general, because when you understand how dogs interact naturally together, you'll understand how to better understand how dogs are communicating with each other and how to communicate with your dog. One of the things that can happen that I always let people know about is if you bring the same sex dog into a household, you may have competition. It's less likely if the dog is older and you bring a puppy in for it to feel threatened. So if you're gonna do that, one good way to test your dog to see how it's gonna react to a puppy is maybe go to a dog park, maybe go to Petco, maybe somewhere where you can see how your dog interacts with dogs of the same sex and of the opposite sex. So that's adult dogs. And I would say most of the time I've seen success even if they're same sex. For some reason that older dog doesn't feel uncomfortable, and we're gonna show you some pictures, some really cute pictures we've got over the years from people of puppies that have gone home and been with other Labradors. Some are our Labradors, some are Labradors that people have already had. And what's really interesting is the way that that older dog will take either a mothering or fathering type of a position, and they'll actually teach the puppy. So when you already have a dog, it's really amazing to watch. And I watched this a couple weeks ago when I had a puppy, and the rest of the litter had gone home, and he was getting picked up like a couple days later. And so I decided, I had Mackie, I had Amy, and I had Romeo at the time inside. And so I decided to watch how this puppy would react being kind of just thrown into this dog pack. I knew it was safe. I didn't do it thinking, I don't know what's gonna happen here, because I knew all the temperament of my dogs were such that the dog was not gonna be bullied in any way. And it was interesting to watch how Amy, this is a male puppy, Amy, who's kind of the alpha bitch around here, sort of gave him a little sideways glance and a little growl, and that was it. And he knew right away he could be around her, but just keep your distance a little bit. Mackie, kind of the same. Romeo was like, let's play. So Romeo took on this role right away of being like the daddy, and if he had a toy in his mouth, and he loves his toys, he would drop it immediately if the puppy reached for it. When Romeo went out, the puppy went out. When Romeo went potty, the puppy would go potty where Romeo went potty. He showed him everything. It was really interesting. So it can be a really good experience to have that older dog teaching your dog what to do, where to go, what places are off limits, where to go potty, what the boundaries are in your yard, what the boundaries are in your house, everything. So it's really cool. Getting 2 puppies is another thing that a lot of people ask me about. Like, am I crazy to want 2 puppies? I think it's ideal. And let me tell you why. Dogs are pack animals, just like horses. So, I hate to see one horse in a pasture by itself. I hate to see one dog by itself. So they're healthier when they're with each other. And let me tell you, there's a false thing that you'll hear out there, and it's false information that people will say, well, if you get 2 puppies, they'll bond with each other and they won't bond with you. It's not true. They accept you into their pack. And so they're happy when you're there, and they're happy when you're not there, which means when you're there, you get to enjoy the puppies, they get to enjoy you. When you're not there, you don't have to feel guilty about leaving this dog by itself. It has its other pack member there to play with, to interact with, to sleep with. So it's actually healthy, it's less stressful. When you take 2 puppies home, they get to sleep together. so they're in the crate together and they're not crying. They can go out together. You're doing all the training at once instead of doing one dog, doing all the training, going back, doing another dog, doing all the training. So it can be really helpful in that way. So socially, it's really great, and stress-wise, it's really great. And then also, it kind of can relieve that guilt that you may have when you leave the house and you don't want to leave your dog by itself, and they have each other. So that's a great thing to have. As far as introducing dogs, it's really important also when you bring a new dog home to an adult dog to make sure that you think about what was it like if you ever brought a baby home to a toddler. Remember that they can be really jealous. Now, Labradors are really good about this. So I don't have any experience with jealousy so far myself. And I remember bringing my daughter home from the hospital, and she came in, the dog sniffed her, and it was like, hey, a new part of the pack. Never had any problems at all. So Labradors are really good about this, but I still know that people take puppies home to other breeds. So, not knowing other breeds as much as I know Labradors, that's why I want to give you the tips. Make sure that the dog knows that when the puppy's out, it gets attention, not puppy's out, they ignore me. It's just common sense, and you all know that already. So do that and keep doing that at least for 2 weeks. 2 weeks is the magical number for any adjustment time. So you want to do that with your dog too. And as long as you're doing that and giving them equal time, you're going to have a very healthy relationship between those two dogs. So just remember those kind of things. Okay, thank you.